Hey everybody, it's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures, and oh, hello, hi. Hey everybody, it's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures, and I thought I would try to do a live response today to Tom Benjamin for his hashtag IBelieveInTarot. So this is a little new for me to do because I've never done this before, but anywho, I've got the little chatty doohickey window up, so if you have anything to add or any questions, go right ahead and let me know about those. And if the video quality winds up being poor, I'll refilm. But in the meantime, I believe in tarot. Okay, so I guess this is kind of, I don't know. Well, I believe tarot works. I don't know why it works. And I believe that I don't want to know why it works. But if we're going to have a discussion about spiritual belief, I guess, I don't know. I walk kind of in two worlds. I've had people tell me that having or not being true to your spiritual practice, I guess, isn't always the best. I don't know. I guess that's not even really what I want to say, but like not being authentic about your spiritual practice is, you can't be an authentic person until you're authentic about what it is that you're doing. But I guess I don't know what I'm doing. So I believe that tarot works. Let me grab. I've got like 1,000 decks with me today. I was gonna do some live readings and stuff today too, but I think I'm gonna do this and see how it works out, and then I'll schedule a day to do live readings. Maybe I'll do them tomorrow, so that way people can know and they can participate, because I need practice doing readings for people, not via a forum or in a way that I can, get away with not, I need to do readings in a way that I can't dick around on doing readings. But yeah, these cards, this is my Centennial Pamela Coleman Smith. Oh, I've got the camera's doing weird. It's not backwards for me here. It might be for you. But I'm not exactly sure why they work. All I know is that they do. As far as whether or not there's a supernatural aspect to it, carry on my wayward son. But as far as whether or not there's a supernatural aspect to it, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic where this stuff is concerned, I guess. For the longest time, well, I had like that phase that everybody that in my age group, I'm in my mid-30s. So we all had a phase where we saw the craft and we wore shit tons of black lipstick. We burned incense and frowned over whatever's in our room while our parents banged on the door and said, "Why are you listening to Marilyn Manson?" So pretty much everybody my age had that experience. Don't judge us. You listen to crappier music and watch crappier movies than we do. So leave us old people alone. But I'm just kidding. But some of it's crappy. I'm turning into that old person. I don't want to be that old person that's like, "Oh, your music and films today are bad. Where are my things? Who am I? Stop stealing my stuff." But I'm turning into that person. And you know what? I guess I'll be authentic where that's concerned. I'll authentically be curmudgeonly. But yeah, but like I've been staunchly atheist pretty much my whole life. I've always had that feeling that there's something just beneath the surface of, like, there's always something kind of clawing to get out, but I'm never really sure what that is, what I'm doing about it, what's going on with it. But anyway, so I started to explore it lately. But I've always loved, I grew up on In Search Of, narrated by Leonard Nimoy. I love me some Ancient Aliens. I listen to a ton of people on YouTube, like conspiracy theories, ghost stories. I love ghost stories, especially the true life ones. I'm not just happy watching Poltergeist. I've got to research like the true life story behind it. The true life story of The Exorcist with Roland Doe. That's amazing. It's a great story, actually. And then like a whole bunch of, it's just, I don't know. So that's kind of where I am. Oh, it looks like I have somebody watching. Hi, somebody. If you have anything to say, there's a thing where you can type stuff in and then I'll reply to it. But if not, that's cool. You do you. You can watch me make a fool out of myself. That's fine. So yeah, I guess we're talking about spiritual I believe in tarot and what exactly about tarot you believe. So I believe that I don't know exactly what I believe about this pack of cards. I know that they work. I don't know why they work. I kind of don't want to know. I think it takes away the magic. Hi, Freaky Unicorn. But yeah, it's I don't know. So I do believe that if you're going to be reading professionally or even for yourself, it is a good idea to have an understanding of not human psychology, but human behavior. I think is probably a good idea to study up when it comes to these cards, because a lot of them are archetypes of huge life events and even just small life events too. If you have anything to add, Freaky Unicorn, by the way, feel free to do it and I will be happy to reply. So having a solid foundation for human behavior is fantastic. I believe that you should have a strong grasp of ethics before you do reading. You should definitely talk to a professional and see where they are, as far as see what they believe as far as ethics are concerned. Like, you shouldn't be reading the cards in a way to like scam people out of money. You shouldn't be reading the cards for people if you are super bad at giving advice in general. You shouldn't be imparting your own opinions and lifestyle into the card readings. You should be absolutely 100% a neutral observer while reading tarot cards. I also believe you should leave your own personal belief systems not out of it, but you should tread cautiously where that's concerned when you're doing readings. You just never know what somebody's life experience is when they come to your table to sit down for a reading. So you have to be really careful about that. And you should never, anybody walking away from one of your readings you should never leave them sad or upset. You should never leave them scared. And you should always leave them like with a smile on their face or with a potential way to solve whatever problem that they're having. Because ultimately, even when we're reading for fortune telling, and even like if you're reading just for general life advice, like you really don't know, unless you're super duper good friends. Like if I was reading for my friend Tiffany, like I don't even need these. I just have to be like, bitch, please, you're being an idiot. But but I've also known her since the 8th grade and we're really, really close. So unless you have that kind of closeness with somebody, you just never know what their life experience is or what's going on in their life at that moment. Even if you think you know, even if you think even if you think the cards have told you exactly what's going on, you just really don't know. And also you have to remember that people, sometimes they take this stuff really seriously. Somebody's going to come to you with I believe that you should, how about we'll cap this one with, I believe that you should always admit when you are in over your head in a reading. At some point, somebody is going to come to you and they are going, thankfully it has not happened to me yet. I don't know if it's happened to any of you yet, but I believe that if you are in over your head in a reading, you need to tell your client and not even try to, like, if you are just in over your head, you need to admit when you need help or when you cannot help somebody, and you need to have ways to help them get to where they need to be. Like somebody's going to come to you and be like, I'm going to divorce my husband tomorrow based on what you say here. Or they're going to say, you know, I think such and such was molested. What do I do? Unless we are certified, they're PhD holding therapists, we're not equipped for that. We can kind of give some general advice, but I think I believe we need to admit when we're in over our heads as readers for stuff like that. But anyway, that's what I believe about tarot reading. And then as far as the cards themselves are concerned, I don't know, like it's kind of, I believe, yeah, I guess, like I've said before, I believe I have no idea what's going on with these little things. I don't know. I believe that it's super fun when they wind up being super accurate. Oh, good, Freaky Unicorn. It's not happened to you yet, and it hasn't happened to me yet. And Knock on wood that it hasn't happened yet, but at some point it may. But so just kind of be prepared for that. I love to be. I'm one of those persons that's like, I have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and what is the absolute worst case scenario? Like, you know, so prepare for the worst, but always hope for the best in that kind of situation. But I'm glad that's never happened to you yet. And I don't know, I have anxiety dreams about that happening to me. Like somebody's going to come in and be like, here's this big ginormous life problem. And I'm going to be like, I don't know. So I always... It's like, well, you got the King of Cups, and I have no idea how that applies to your situation. I'm super sad. I don't know what to do about this, you know, thing that you did that's horrible, or this thing that's happening to you that's horrible. So I'm super glad that's never happened to me yet, and I'm super glad it hasn't happened to you yet. But yeah, no, okay. So as far as like why they work, the magic behind them, I don't know. I would love to believe, and that's kind of where I am, I guess, in my spiritual practice right now. Like I would love to believe that these are 100% magical, awesome sauce, tuning into your subconscious and, you know, intuition and ridiculousness. But I don't know. I remain cautiously optimistic where that's concerned. A little bit skeptical, but a little not. I love when they wind up to be freakily accurate. I'm just like, ooh, that's super exciting. I love that they're freakily accurate. How did that happen? Oh my God. But I also feel like if we ever did find out like how they worked, it would ruin 99.9% of the fun. I think half the fun about tarot for anybody is that we don't really know how or why they work. It's just, I don't know, just I love that I don't know. But anywho, I guess that's what I believe about tarot. Not so much about, I guess not so much about like why the cards are working or whatnot. I guess I believe that there should be a set of ethics about the way you read. I believe you should always read ethically and safely. I believe you should just do what's good for you. I mean, nobody can really tell you what to believe or how to believe, and I feel like for everybody that's going to change from day to day. And just have fun and enjoy it while you're doing it, and when you don't enjoy it anymore, stop. I'm a simple kind of gal that way. But anywho, that's really all I have for this. So does anybody have any questions? I know I've got like 3 people watching, which is amazing. The last time I did this, I had a big fat goose egg. So excellent, 3 viewers. And also thank you everybody who will eventually see this. I realized today I have 74 subscribers, which is amazing. And if I had known that, I would have come prepared with like glitter and champagne poppers. But thank you everybody that has subscribed to my humble little channel that I do from the sales desk at my work. Well, you know, in between customers and stuff, but yeah, I'm super grateful. And I believe, oh, that's the other thing I believe about tarot. I believe it's got the power to unite people who otherwise have nothing in common. I am making some really awesome friends in the tarot sphere and meeting some really awesome people, and everybody on chat included, which is just freaky unicorn. So great name, by the way. So yeah, I believe it's got the power to bring people together who otherwise like wouldn't have anything to do with each other. And that in and of itself is absolutely magical. I mean, if you just think about the sheer amount of backgrounds and just even like geographical locations and, you know, economic statuses, just we're all so different, but we have this one amazing thing in common, and we could talk to each other about it for hours. I mean, we've got 78 things to talk to each other about. Like, that is hugely amazing. And just I look forward to forging some really amazing friendships. And so I believe just the power to, like, again, just the power to bring people together in and of itself is kind of magical. So that's pretty awesome. We didn't even need ponies to do it, although My Little Pony is awesome, and that's the one and only time you will ever hear me admit that. Yeah, so that's it, I guess, unless anybody has anything to say. or add or ask. I am just going to leave the floor open to questions. Oh, you know what? I will do a reading. I was planning on doing readings anyway, so I guess I will pull. I'll start with one for Freaky Unicorn, but if anybody else wants a reading, I'll pull a couple of cards. I know people have been super stoked about the Rebel deck. So Freaky Unicorn, if you want, I've got Rebel deck here. I've got the Centennial Tarot. I have to pick up some cards I dropped on the floor if you want one from that. I've got, let's see, Animal Spirit. I'm still using the book for this one. And I've got the Connected and Free Oracle. And what else do I have back here? Oh, I've got Flowers of the Night. I've got Wildflower reading cards. So you have your choice if you want a reading. Just post it in the thingy. Oh, I also have the Hokusai Tarot, actually, if you want. Just like, that's only major arcana, though. So if you want like a cool little reading from that, that's kind of fun. Or if you have a question you want to ask, that works too. But other than that, let's see. So are you okay with Rebel deck? I'm gonna say that I'm gonna assume that that's all right. So this is basically a fast and loose reading. I don't know if you have a question, but if not, let's see. So we shuffle, and you get like 1 or 2 cards, and that's your advice for the day, for whatever's bugging you or whatever might be going. Oh, this one just fell out of the deck too. It says, put the fucking phone down. Too much screen time is making you awkward, so go talk to a live person. So that is awesome, kind of, I guess. Way to be sassy, Rebel deck. So I don't know if maybe you've been having too much screen time lately, but we say that I like how we are, ironically. You get this ironically while we're on a live chat, but you know, maybe go talk to some. I know it's super ironic, but yeah, go maybe tonight, after live chat, or right now if you want to. I won't have any hurt feels. You know, turn the phone off, unplug a little bit. Of course, you're watching me on your phone. That's really. I love it. I love it. Rebel deck. I have to say, the energy from Rebel deck, I don't know if you guys are waffling on whether or not to get it, but you need to. The girls that have created it are amazing. But yeah, so back to the reading. I would say maybe take the time to either schedule a day or maybe tonight after this, just kind of unplug. I think you'll be amazed at how I actually did that. I would like to say I did it all day yesterday, but I may or may not have jumped on Instagram once or twice. But unplugging is so good. It resets you and it renews you, and it just gives you so much fresh energy. Just not looking at a screen. That doesn't mean that you can't. I love to engage in my share of escapism. So, you know, you can read, maybe go out to dinner, but literally actually turn your phone off. It'll be amazing, and you'll feel so much better. And just, it'll be kind of like, remember the days of payphones? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just carry, like, I'd like to say, you know, have it in your back pocket for emergencies. Turn it back on, like if you wind up going out or doing, you know, always be safe. But I think maybe turning it off would be amazing. It says, what does it say on the back about? Oh, it's making you awkward and sad. That's another thing to touch on too. I know that yes, phones have power buttons. It's amazing. You can actually turn them off. But yeah, it's actually, lots of studies have been done. I know that they're just trying to like be haha, it's making you awkward and sad, but there have been studies that have been done that show that too much phone time and screen time can actually contribute to depression and anxiety, because it's you have more people like in your face, you have more to compare your life to, and I say it's actually it's not like you're comparing it. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, but what you don't know is that the Joneses are presenting you with a fake life online, because that's what we all do. We all put up like only the best and never the worst, unless you have unless you have that one friend that's always like everything is horrible online, and then you wind up unfriending them anyway, or unfollowing, so that way they don't know that you unfriended them. But yeah, I would say maybe take the time tonight to unplug, and let me know how that works out. I would love to know how your night without a phone was. I would actually love to unplug, and if I didn't have the big old shop, I would probably be way more unplugged than I am now. But that was your reading, and I hope you liked it. Anybody else want any readings? Let me know. It looks like I've got one other person watching, because it counts me as one, so that's awesome. It's like liking your own post. But yeah, okay. So I'm just going to do a general one for everybody else then. And I think, let's see. Oh, you know what? I got the Sacred Creators Oracle today. So I will do a Sacred Creator reading for us, I guess, just because it's so positive and it's been such a long goddamn day. I think I'm going to end it on a positive note. We'll do an awesome, this is such an uplifting deck. I took a minute to take a look through it, and we'll do a combo. Maybe we'll do some Rebel and some this. Like we'll do compliment sandwich. How does that sound? We'll do 2 from here and 1 from Rebel deck. Those who don't know what the compliment sandwich is, oh, it shuffles really nice. Those who don't know what the compliment sandwich is, it's a management technique when you have to give somebody a performance review or talk to them like in I call it the bad kid meeting. You're supposed to say one thing that is good, and then your criticism, and then end it on another thing that's good, because you always want to end things on a positive note. And while, I don't know, for management, it seems a little manipulative, I feel like it's probably a good idea to apply to your own life, because you don't want to ignore the bad things either. Like there's some things that you should address, but there's no reason you shouldn't leave anything on a negative note. So anywho, so everybody's general reading for the day. Hopefully whoever needs this message the most gets it. See, there I am being like, I hope whoever needs this message the most gets it. And then later on, I'm going to be listening to something, and I'll be like, no, science only. I'm such a hypocrite sometimes, but at least I can admit it. At least I can admit it. I know that about myself. Know thyself, right? All right, let's see. So compliment sandwich. We got that deck is all set, and then we'll reshuffle Rebel deck. So this one hand over hands, and it also rifle shuffles really well. I believe I covered that in a previous video. Oh, we can't look at it because it's double-sided. It's double-sided. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna pick that card first, and okay, so we got that one. And then, let's see. I'm going to take top and bottom because we're doing compliment sandwich, right? So there's bottom, and here's top. Okay, so our reading for the day. Lead your metamorphosis. Oh my God, these are so contradictory a little bit. Because if you think about it, because when you read the Rebel deck one, it'll make more sense. So where are we? Okay, so it says, lead your metamorphosis, but drop the fucking ego, and then fall in love with your own story. So it's a little contradicting, I suppose. Oh, on the back of this it says vulnerability is hot as fuck. So oh, where would we go with this one? So definitely some changes need to take place. Maybe I think this one is probably for the kind of person, I don't know, if you're out there, I hope you're listening, and I hope you don't take offense to the reading, because it did drop an F-bomb, and there's nothing wrong with an F-bomb. I love me. George Carlin invented that word, by the way. God, that show's so old sometimes. Okay, so lead your metamorphosis and fall in love with your own story and drop the fucking ego. So I think this one is for somebody who probably loves themselves a little too much for the wrong reasons. I would go with this one. I would say drop the superficiality. Is kind of where I would take this. Stop worrying about how you look, what you're wearing, the stuff you have. You know, stop this again. Stop keeping up with the Joneses, and maybe start working on instead of being superficially like amazing. Start being a little more authentic, and that means being a little more authentic emotionally and spiritually, and mentally. I mean, you know, start being you. Nobody cares about what it is, you know, you're wearing, what it is you're doing, what it is, you know. There's just do you, but don't do it in a way that makes you a jerk, if that makes sense. Um, and fall in love with your own story. I mean, I guess, you know, maybe I don't know, there's a lot about you that's okay. Like if you're doing the superficiality stuff, like the again the metamorphosis, like you need to change whatever it is that you're doing, you know, and become more you, and then stop putting up the wall of, you know, what it is you look like, what it is you have versus what it is you have. You know, there's more, there's more to life than whatever it is that you've got going on, and you deserve to acknowledge that, and you just and you deserve to work on it and to be authentically happy, as opposed to somebody who's only happy because they have things, and because they look a certain way, and because they act a certain way. So explore whether or not what you're doing is actually making you happy, and kind of embrace the fact that you took a journey to get to where you are, and it's kind of an amazing story. I mean, we all have our own stories, we all have our own experiences, and you might not think that the one that you have is great, but it is. And you've been through some stuff and you've come out of it the other end, and it's time to start acting like somebody who actually knows what they've got going on, instead of somebody who covers up whatever with stuff. So that's kind of where I'm going with this message, I guess, is to stop being superficial and be a little more authentic. And also get in touch with your emotions a little bit more. Stop burying them with things, and you know, just stop covering it up. Like, you feel, it's okay to feel. And I guess it seems like, you know, that Rebel deck one is saying there's probably somebody in your life that will appreciate you being a little more in touch with your emotions. So anywho, that is where I would go with this. I actually haven't read the book for these yet, so it'll be interesting to see what they had to say about that. But anywho, thank you everybody for watching. I think I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll keep an eye on the chat. If there's anything you'd like me to follow up with, please let me know. And thank you, Tom, for this wonderful and amazing discussion topic. And thank you, Freaky Unicorn and Mystery Viewer, for watching me ramble on for however long this has been. I actually have no idea. But anywho, bye guys. Thank you.